So, Greg Haljan, you are not as loyal as you pretend. Miko was livid with suppressed anger. They had stripped the cloak from me, and flung me back in my cubby. Miko was now confronting me. At the door Moa stood watching. And Anita was behind her. I sat outwardly defiant and sullen on my bunk. But I was tense and alert, fearful still of what Anita's emotion might betray her into doing. Not so loyal, Miko repeated. And a fool. How did he get out of here? Prince, you came in here. My heart was wildly thumping. But Anita retorted with a touch of spirit, I came to tell him what you commanded. To check Han's latest figures and to be ready to take the controls when we approached the asteroid. Well, how did he get out? How should I know, she parried. Little actress. Her spirit helped to allay my fear. She held her cloak close around her in the fashion they had come to expect from the George Prince who had just buried his sister. How should I know, Miko? I sealed his door. But did you? Of course he did, Moa put in. Ask your lookouts, Anita said. They saw me, I waved to them just as I sealed the door. I ventured, I have been taught to open doors. I managed a sly, lugubrious smile. I shall not try it again, Miko. Nothing had been said about my killing of the steward. I thanked my constellations now that he was dead. I shall not try it again, I repeated. A glance passed between Miko and his sister. Miko said abruptly, You seem to realize it is not my purpose to kill you. And you presume upon it. I shall not again. I eyed Moa. She was gazing at me steadily. She said, Lead me with him, Miko. She smiled. Greg Haljan, we are no more than 20,000 miles from the asteroid now. The calculations for retarding are now in operation. It was what had taken Miko below, that in trouble with the ventilating system, which was soon rectified. But the retarding of the ship's velocity when nearing a destination required accurate manipulation. These brigands were fearful of their own skill. That was obvious. It gave me confidence. I was really needed. They would not harm me. Except for Miko's impulsive temper, I was in no danger from them, not now, certainly. Moa was saying, I think I may make you understand, Greg. We have tremendous riches within our grasp. I know it, I said with sudden thought. But there are many with whom to divide this treasure. Miko caught my intended implication. By the infernal, this fellow may have thought he could seize this treasure for himself. Because he is a navigator. Moa said vehemently, Do not be an idiot, Greg. You could not do it. There will be fighting with Grantline. My purpose was accomplished. They seemed to see me a willing outlaw like themselves. As though it were a bond between us. Lead me with him, said Moa. Miko acquiesced. For a few minutes only. He proffered a heat ray cylinder but she refused it. I am not afraid of him. Miko swung on me. Within an hour we will be nearing the atmosphere. Will you take the controls? Yes. He set his heavy jaw. His eyes bored into me. You're a strange fellow, Haljan. I can't make you out. I am not angry now. Do you think, when I am deadly serious, that I mean what I say? His calm words set a sudden chill over me. I checked my smile. Yes, I said. Well then, I will tell you this, not for all of Prince's well-meaning interference, or Moa's liking for you, or my own need of your skill, will I tolerate more trouble from you. The next time, I will kill you. Do you believe me? Yes. That is all I want to say. You kill my men, and my sister says I must not hurt you. I am not a child to be ruled by a woman. He held his huge fist before my face. With these fingers I will twist your neck. Do you believe it? Yes. I did indeed. He swung on his heel. Moa wants to try and put sense in your head, I hope she does it. Bring him to the lounge when you have finished. Come, Prince, Han will need us. He chuckled grimly. Han seems to fear we will plunge into this asteroid like a wild comet gone suddenly tangent. Anita moved aside to let him through the door. I caught a glimpse of her set white face as she followed him down the deck. Then Moa's bulk blocked the doorway. She faced me. Sit where you are, Greg. She turned and closed the door upon us. I am not afraid of you. Should I be? No. She came and sat down beside me. If you should attempt to leave this room, the stern lookout has orders to bore you through. I have no intention of leaving this room, I retorted. I do not want to commit suicide. I thought you did. You seem minded in such a fashion. Greg, why are you so heedless? I said carefully, this treasure, you are many who will divide it. You have all these men on the plain Terra. And in Ferrok-Shahn, others. I paused. Would she tell me? Could I make her talk of that other brigand ship which Miko had said was waiting on Mars? I wondered if he had been able to signal it. The distance from here to Mars was great, yet upon other voyages Snap's signals had gotten through. My heart sank at the thought. Our situation here was desperate enough. The passengers soon would be cast upon the asteroid, there would be left only Snap, Anita and myself. We might recapture the ship, but I doubted it now. My thoughts were turning to our arrival on the moon. We three might, perhaps, be able to thwart the attack upon Grantline, hold the Brigands off until help from the Earth might come. But with another brigand ship, fully manned and armed, coming from Mars, the condition would be immeasurably worse. Grantline had some 20 men, and his camp, I knew, would be reasonably fortified. I knew too, that Johnny Grantline would fight to his last man. Moa was saying, I would like to tell you our plans, Greg. Her gaze was on my face. Keen eyes, but they were luminous now, and emotion in them sweeping her. But outwardly she was calm. Well, why don't you tell me? I said. If I am to help. Greg, I want you with us. Don't you understand? And we are not many, really. My brother and I are guiding this affair. With your help, I would feel differently. The ship at Ferrok-Shahn. My fears were realized. She said, I think our signals reached it. Dean tried and Coniston was checking him. You think the ship is coming? Yes. Where will it join us? At the moon. We will be there in 30 hours. Your figures gave that, did they not? Yes, I said. And the other ship, how fast is it? Quite fast. In 8 days, perhaps 9, it will reach the moon. She seemed willing enough to talk. There was indeed no reason why she shouldn't. I could not, she naturally felt, turn the knowledge to account. Certainly my position seemed desperately helpless. "Manned?" I prompted. "About 40 men." "And armed? Long-range projectors?" "You ask very avid questions, Greg." "Why should I not? Don't you suppose I'm interested?" I touched her. "Moa, did it ever occur to you, if once you and Miko trusted me, which you don't, I might show more interest in joining you?" The look on her face emboldened me. "Did you ever think of that, Moa? And some arrangement for my share of this treasure? I am not like Johnson, to be hired for 100 pounds of gold leaf." "Greg, I will see that you get your share. Riches for you and me." "I was thinking, Moa, when we land at the moon tomorrow, where is our equipment?" The moon, with its lack of atmosphere, needed special equipment. I had never heard Captain Carter mention what apparatus the Planetara was carrying. Moa laughed. "We have located air suits and helmets, a variety of suitable apparatus, Greg. But we were not foolish enough to leave Greater New York on this voyage without our own apparatus. My brother and Coniston and Prince, all of us snipped crates of freight consigned to Farrakshan, and Rankin had special baggage marked theatrical apparatus." I understood it now. These brigands had boarded the Planetara with their own moon equipment, disguised as freight and personal baggage. Shipped in bond, to be inspected by the tax officials of Mars. "It is on board now. We will open it when we leave the asteroid, Greg. We are well equipped." She bent toward me. And suddenly her long, lean fingers were gripping my shoulders. "Greg, look at me." I gazed into her eyes. There was passion there, and her voice was intense. "Greg, I told you once a Martian girl goes after what she wants. It is you I want. Not for me to play upon a woman's emotions. Moa, you flatter me." "I love you." She held me off, gazing at me. "Greg." I must have smiled. Abruptly she released me. "So you think it amusing?" "No. But on Earth." "We are not on Earth. Nor am I of the Earth." She was gauging me keenly. No note of pleading was in her voice, a stern authority, and the passion was swinging to anger. "I am like my brother, I do not understand you, Greg Haljan. Perhaps you think you are clever?" "Perhaps." There was a moment of silence. "Greg, I said I loved you. Have you no answer?" "No." In truth, I did not know what sort of answer it would be best to make. Whatever she must have read in my eyes, it stirred her to fury. Her fingers, with the strength of a man in them, dug into my shoulders. Her gaze searched me. "You think you love someone else? Is that it?" That was horribly startling, but she did not mean it just that way. She amended, with caustic venom, that little Anita Prince. "You thought you loved her. Was that it?" "No." But I hardly deceived her. Sacred to her memory. Her rat-like little face, soft voice like a purring, sniveling cat. "Is that what you're remembering, Greg Haljan?" I tried to laugh. "What nonsense!" "Is it? Then why are you cold under my touch?
Am I, a girl descended from the Martian flame workers, impotent to awaken a man? A woman scorned. In all the universe there could be no more dangerous an enemy.
An incredible venom shot from her eyes.
That miserable mouse-like creature.
Well for her that my brother killed her.
It struck me cold.
If Anita were unmasked, beyond all the menace of Miko's wooing, I knew that the venom of Moa's jealousy was a greater danger.
I said sharply, "Don't be simple, Moa."
I shook off her grip.
You imagine too much. You forget that I am a man of Earth and you a girl of Mars. Is that reason why we should not love? No. But our instincts are different.
Men of Earth are born to the chase.
I was smiling.
With thought of Anita's danger, I could find it readily in my heart to dupe this Amazon.
Give me time, Moa. You attract me.
You lie.
Do you think so?
I gripped her arm with all the power of my fingers. It must have hurt her, but she gave no sign. Her gaze clung to me steadily.
I don't know what to think, Greg Haljan. I held my grip. Think what you like.
Men of Earth have been known to kill the thing they love.
You want me to fear you?
Perhaps.
She smiled scornfully. That is absurd. I released her.
I said earnestly, I want you to realize that if you treat me fairly, I can be of great advantage to this venture.
There will be fighting. I am fearless.
Her venomous expression was softening.
I think that is true, Greg. And you need my navigating skill. Even now I should be in the turret. I stood up.
I half expected she would stop me, but she did not.
I added, "Shall we go?" She stood beside me.
Her height brought her face level with mine.
I think you will cause no more trouble, Greg? Of course not.
I am not wholly witless.
You have been. Well, that is over. I hesitated.
Then I added, a man of Earth does not yield to love while there is work to do. This treasure. I think that of everything I said, this last most convinced her. She interrupted, that I understand. Her eyes were smoldering. When it is over, when we are rich, then I will claim you, Greg.
She turned from me. Are you ready? Yes. No.
I must get that sheet of Han's last figures.
Are they checked?
Yes. I picked the sheet up from my desk.
Han is fairly accurate, Moa. A fool, nevertheless. An apprehensive fool. A comradeship seemed coming between us.
It was my purpose to establish it.
Are we going to maroon Dr. Frank with the passengers? I asked.
Yes.
But he may be of use to us. Moa shook her head decisively. My brother has decided not. We will be well rid of Dr. Frank. Are you ready, Greg?
Yes.
She opened the door.
Her gesture reassured the lookout, who was alertly watching the stern watchtower. I stepped out, and followed her forward along the deck, which now was bright with the radiance of the nearby asteroid.